welcome back. This is part 2 of my Valentine's blogger Q&A interview, which is inspired by the series that is being run by Kerry of All About a Mini Norris blog. So question 7 was, do you celebrate Valentine's Day? And I said yes, and then it says, if yes, what do you normally do? Well, if you've seen part 1, you'll know what we do, but for those of you who might skip through it or didn't quite get to the end, basically what we do nowadays is we exchange cards, and we tend to just have a nice meal at home, mainly because we don't have babysitters close by and we're not really going out people anymore. We're quite home birds, so we'll have a nice meal, we'll have a bottle of fizzy slur because we don't drink alcohol anymore, and then we'll probably end the night off by watching a film or carrying on with a TV series with a nice cup of tea in our jammies. So that's what we do to celebrate. Question 9 has been, what has been the best and worst Valentine's gift or card you've ever received? I don't know that I can actually say I've had a really bad Valentine's Day gift. I certainly can't remember any. I guess I suppose the worst could be is if he forgot to get me one. If Rob forgot to get me one, I don't know. But the best has to be my engagement ring. We had been talking about getting engaged for quite a while, and unbeknownst to me, Rob had gone out and bought one before Valentine's Day in 2005, I think it was. So we had been about 4 or 5 years together, and we were due to go to London with his sisters, and I said to him, don't you propose while we're there. I want it when we're on our own, quiet. I don't want a big deal of it. I just wanted you and me, just do something quiet. And he was like, oh, okay, because he had thought of maybe proposing on the London Eye or something like that. And I was like, no, I don't want that. That's not me. Just you and me somewhere nice. So that Valentine's Day, we went to our favourite curry house in Shrewsbury called the Cinnamon Tree, I think it's the Cinnamon Tree. And if it's still there, and we had a really nice time. And I thought, okay, I know he's planning it soon, but I wonder if he's going to do it here. And I was thinking, oh my god, it's a restaurant full of people. He didn't. We had a really nice meal, a couple of drinks afterwards in a bar, and then we headed home. And those are the days when we'd have a meal, a few drinks in a bar, go home and carry on drinking at home. So we went home, and we were actually going to have a bottle of champagne. That's what it was. And he was doing something else in the kitchen. We were in an apartment with a really big open plan living dining room space. It was really nice. I loved that apartment. And all I could hear all of a sudden was ah! And he came at me with this towel wrapped around his hands. And I was like, oh my god, what? And he said, I've cut myself, it's really bad, it's really bad. And I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? We have to get to hospital. How are we gonna get to hospital? Because we didn't have a car at the time. And I said, let me see it. He said, oh, have a look at it and see. And then he opened his hand, and there was the ring on his little finger. That was it. I was crying, said yes, of course. We opened the champagne, got very drunk, had a long lie-in the next day. But obviously that has to be my best Valentine's Day present, was my engagement ring, which is there. So number 10 is, what's your ideal date night? Has to be just sitting at home having a nice meal together when Alex is asleep in bed. So probably like what we're gonna do this Valentine's Day, get him to bed early, cook our mussels, have a nice steak, have a nice dessert, maybe watch a TV series that we're watching or a film or something, and just, yeah, basically chill out and enjoy ourselves. We're not going out people. As I said, we don't really have babysitters, so it's not for us. But yeah, we're real home birds, so we just prefer staying at home. So that's it, I guess. What's your favourite romantic film? Oh, this is hard, because there are lots of good romantic films out there. I guess the usual ones. I quite like Love Actually. It's a film, such a good feel-good film. It's got lots of little love stories in it that kind of tie together in that. Notting Hill, we're getting a theme here. Notting Hill. See, the thing is, I quite like romantic films, but Rob doesn't really like watching them, so I don't get to see them these days. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the usual, Notting Hill, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, who can forget the Hugh Grant ones. I don't particularly like Hugh Grant, but he does make good romantic films. What's your favourite love song? I guess it would probably have to be the one that we had as our first wedding song, and that would have to be Van Morrison's Have I Told You Lately. It was really hard for Baldad and I to pick a first song for our wedding because we have never really had a song, a slow song, a love song. We do have a song, and people probably won't understand the reason why. Our song is Butterfly by Crazy Town. If you heard it, you'd know. You'll know it. If you haven't, go on YouTube with some, you know, after you watch this. But Crazy Town's Butterfly is our song, but it's not a love song. So I guess it would have to be Van Morrison's Have I Told You Lately, because that was the one that we decided on as our first song. The other one we really like, and we had it as our second song, is Michael Bublé's Just Haven't Met You Yet. It's such a nice, good feel song, but again, we're not into really slow songs or that, so hard for us. We're not your typical kind of couple. Question number 13 is, what's your favourite love quote? Now, I have to switch over on my phone to another page because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. Now, I came across this quote when a friend of mine was planning her wedding quite a number of years before Rob and I got married. And it's one that just stuck with me for a long time, and I managed to incorporate it into our church service books. I was going to put it on the wedding invites because I made all my paperwork myself, from the table place settings to the plan to our invitations and thank you cards to the church service book. I made them all myself. Save money, I suppose. But yeah, I managed to incorporate it at the back of the service plan, so I was really happy with that. And it's from Dante, and it's from his Vita Nuova, or Nuova, anyway, New Life one. And it goes like this, and it's just one that I love, and it's quite fitting for a new relationship or for a marriage or for even a new baby. So here it is. In that book, which is my memory, on the first page of the chapter, that is the day when I first met you, appear the words, here begins a new life. I love that. It encompasses everything, you know. It basically says the first day that I met you was the first day of the rest of my life, and that's when our, I suppose, book that encompasses our life together, that the first day that I met you was the start of that book. It's the start of a new chapter. And it is true, and it started with me and Rob speaking on ICQ, our fateful night meeting in the Mercantile in Dakota, and history just carried on from there, and our book is being written, and has been written ever since. And I just love that quote by Dante. I love it. And then question number 14, and I think this is the last one. It is. So question number 14 is, what is the most romantic place you've ever visited as a couple, and where would you like to visit? Well, I guess there's two romantic places that we visited as a couple which have been special. Number one is Paris. It's the city of love. Who has been to Paris doesn't love Paris? I would really like to know, especially as a couple before babies. The first time Baldad actually lived in Paris for a year when he was 19 as part of the Euro Disney opening crew. Lucky sod. So he's fluent in French, he knows Paris inside out. But he first took me to Paris for my 30th birthday. It was the first time we went as a couple. We went on December the 28th, which is my birthday, and he got me to the top of the Eiffel Tower 20 minutes before my actual birth time. The only problem was, we had been to the Louvre first, and we came out to the Louvre on the Seine side of it, so out onto the riverbank. And he said, oh look, there's the Eiffel Tower. Let's walk to it. And I went, oh, okay, because I'd never been to Paris before. It was December the 28th. It was freezing cold. I had a heavy coat on me, but I had no gloves. And it was freezing. It was bitterly cold. The wind coming off the river it would cut through you. It took us an hour and 40 minutes to walk to the Eiffel Tower. In the dark, in the cold in the evening of December the 28th. And then we had to wait 20 minutes in the queue to get our tickets to go up. And at this stage I was like, this better be worth it, because if it's not, this is no way to spend your 30th birthday. But fair play to him. He got me to the very top of the Eiffel Tower 20 minutes before my actual birth time, the time of day I was born. So it did make up for it. The very top was clouded and misted, so you couldn't actually see anything. It was caked in cloud. But from the first and second floors, the views were incredible. And for my 30th birthday, my first time ever in Paris, going up to the Eiffel Tower and seeing all around and viewing Paris from there in the dark with the lights on was just incredible. It was really romantic, and we have been to Paris so many times since. And we always go to new areas that I haven't been to, because obviously he's been to practically all of the areas. We're going to Paris again later on this year, fingers crossed, and it never fails to live up to its name of being the city of love. We've never been with Alex, Battle Kid, and this will be our first year because we're going to take in Euro Disney as well. So it's going to be interesting, but I can't wait to go back to Paris. The other place I've been to with Rob, which was extremely romantic, and is definitely another one that we're going to do with Alex when he's older, Battle Kid, is in 2011 or 2012, I can't remember exactly, we went to Norway. Now, we had been to Iceland 2 years before with friends of ours, to Reykjavik in December, with the sole purpose of trying to see the Northern Lights. Now, we saw them for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and the weather was just crap the whole weekend, and so we saw this glimmer of green for 5 seconds, and that was it. And we were all very disappointed, but it was still the best weekend I ever had anywhere. Iceland was. We went to the Blue Lagoon, we went to the fish company for dinner, we went to did the half-day Golden Circle tour. It was just brilliant. So if you're ever going to Iceland, you'll have a fab time. But because we only saw the Northern Lights for about 5 seconds, we were really disappointed, and we wanted to photograph them. We decided 2 years later, myself and Rob, that we'd go to Tromsø, because we had seen the Joanna Lumley Northern Lights documentary she had done. So we actually booked a tour with Shettle, who is the guy who featured in her documentary, and we went to Tromsø, which is in northern Norway. It's over 300 miles inside the Arctic Circle, and we went in November for our kind of meeting anniversary, and it was incredible. It was cold. We bought all the right gear with us though, and the first night we had with Shettle, we saw them a little bit and couldn't really photograph them because there's lots of clouds, and we hunted for, it must have been 4 or 5 hours, and the weather was just against us, and we were really disappointed because Norway's not the cheapest. So what we did the next day was we had a wander around Tromsø, and we managed to find the tourist office, and we thought, okay, let's see if we can go out again and see if we can actually see them. So we booked another tour with a guy called Gunnar. And it just so happened that the night we went out with Gunnar, Shettle wasn't doing a tour because he had his wife's birthday or something. So Gunnar could actually take us to all the places that Shettle normally goes. They don't like to go on each other's patch, so to speak. They all have their own little kind of spots where they stop to try and photograph them. But because Shettle wasn't out, Gunnar could take us all around his places. So we started seeing them as we were doing our tours, but the kind of clouds were rolling in, so we went out towards the coast, and we found this one spot, and he pulled up and he said, okay, I've got a good feeling about this. And literally within 5 minutes the sky lit up, and both Rob and I had our good cameras with us. I had bought a specific lens for it. I'd researched all the actual settings to do, and we stood there for about, I think it must have been about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the lights were just above us, and there was these 2 streams of green, and then you'd get like, it didn't dance too much, but it was this green streak. The clouds would roll in, then they'd open up again, and it was just to stand underneath the Northern Lights with your husband, because we were married at that stage, and knowing that we had both managed to capture great photos of them. Probably a little bit grainy because we had to shoot the eyes up, but to actually know that we were one of the few privileged people on this earth to be able to actually knock that off our bucket list, and at such a young age, it was it's just, it was an incredible night. We were out for hours. We were cold, but we didn't care because we were under the Northern Lights. We were with 2 other sets of couples. There was 2 Chinese girls and another couple. He was also trying to photograph them, and we all just had this warm fuzzy feeling because we were able to see the lights, we were able to photograph them, we shared our photographs afterwards with each other, and it was extremely romantic to stand underneath the Northern Lights with your husband and share that with him. And as I said, in probably about 7 years time, we're hoping to take Alex back up there and hopefully share it with him as well. And we were so glad that we went to Norway to see it, because I know so many people who unfortunately go to Iceland and really want to see them and don't see them, whereas at least with Northern Norway, Tromsø and that, you're so far into the Arctic Circle, your probability of seeing them is actually higher, and that's why we chose it. But yeah, that's the one of the other most romantic things that we have ever done together and ever seen and experienced. I'm so privileged to be able to knock it off my bucket list, even if I never go again. Part 2 of that question is where would you like to go? One of the things I really want to do, and which Rob really wants to do as well, is I want to go back to Africa, and specifically I want to go back to Botswana. It's where I was born. I have no memory of it because I left before I was 2, but Africa just holds such a chunk of my heart. Even though I can't remember a lot of it, we left South Africa when I was 9. It's just as I said, it just holds such a chunk of my heart that I want to go back. I want to go back to where I was born. I want to see the Okavango Delta. I want to see parts of the Kalahari Desert. So for me, I want to go back to Botswana before I die. And Rob is determined to get me there. But now that we have Alex, we want to wait until he's old enough to enjoy a safari type holiday. So it is going to be one of those ones that we really have to hold off booking so that he's old enough to remember it, because if he doesn't get another chance in his life, then at least if he has the memories of going with his parents, at least he'll have that, I guess. So that is the other kind of romantic thing we want to do as a couple. We want to go to Botswana. Rob wants to be in a position to do that for me and to afford it, so we're gonna have to save hard for that, but he wants to take both of us there so that he can see it, because it will be like seeing it for the first time for me. I have no memories of it, but we do want to go to Botswana and we do want to share it together, and I know it'll be romantic because it'll be me going back to where I was born, and I think it'll mean a lot to Rob to know that he's been able to do that for me. So yeah, there we go. So sorry if both of these Q&A, part 1 and part 2, have been very long, but see, that's why doing a video is sometimes a bit easier than trying to write it down, because you might not be able to convey your message as well as just talking about it. So if you want to take part, either do a vlog like this, and you can get the list of questions if you go to Kerry's blog, which is all about a mini Norris, and you'll find loads of the blogger interviews there, and they've got the list of questions in there. Or if you want to, you can always contact Kerry, and obviously this will only be applicable during February 2017 if you're watching this, because she's running the series during February, and you can write it all down, or even just publish it on your own blog if you want to. So there you go. I want to say thank you very much for watching. They've both been long interviews, so apologies for that. And yeah, come back soon when I eventually manage to video it, I will have some extremely exciting news to share with you. I've already shared it with a couple of people, and there might be little hints of it on my social media and some of the blog posts and that, but we have big exciting news for our family happening this year, so do pop by soon when I will be doing a vlog all about that. Thanks very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you all again very soon. Bye.